I'm sure this never happens to you. You plant a bunch of stuff in the spring, but then you don't record what you planted or where you planted. Come fall, come winter, it's time to crop plant, and you can't remember how many beds of peppers you had, whether you did lettuce every week or not. Well, now is the time, before your season ends, for you to fix that problem. I'm Dan Brisebois from the Farmer Spreadsheet Academy, and on today's Farmer Spreadsheet tip, I'm going to walk you through how to simply go through your fields and update your crop plans. You can get the actual spreadsheets from this tip at spreadsheet.farm/FSA076, though this week's spreadsheet tip is not the most complicated spreadsheet. Start off with a blank spreadsheet, and then make a table where you're keeping track, where you record. Then make a table where you write down all your blocks and all the beds for each block, and have some columns for planting dates, crop variety, bed feet. If you don't already have block numbers or block names or some way to identify the beds, now is actually a great time to think about it and figure something out, because it's going to make it way easier later on to refer to things that have been planted in the past and things that you'll plant in the future. And it makes it a great thing. It makes it a lot easier to talk to your team about where you want them to do different stuff. So you've got your spreadsheet with your blocks and beds. If you already have a crop plan from the spring, whether you followed it or not, just record in your sheet what you put your crop plan down. So here we can see in block 101 in bed 1, on May 2nd, we were planning on planting 100 bed feet of carrots. And then there's 2 rows for block 2 because we were going to do 50 feet of beets and 50 feet of turnips. So this is the plan that you have for the growing season. Get it down onto your map. If you already have a map like this as part of your crop plan, well then start with this for when you go out to look in the field. So the next thing would be to then print this sheet out. So you have a paper copy, and take this paper copy and go walk in the field. Go walk, start at your first bed, and go look at what's in the sheet and what's in the field and figure out whether it's accurate or not. If you had a succession, think about what you had the previous previous planting before you would have flipped the bed into what's here. And go through and with a pen or pencil, marker, whatever you like, and go through and then cross out what you didn't actually grow, maybe write why you didn't grow it, and write down what you did grow. And if you get to areas, sometimes you have a part of the season where, it was so hot or so weedy and you had to flip crops really quickly and you replanted with something else. Maybe you put some radishes where you should have put some turnips. I don't know how you dealt with with the challenges of this growing season, and maybe you don't remember exactly. And so in that case, write whatever you do remember and then go and ask your team and ask them if they remember what it is. If you have any kind of old planting sheets put somewhere, go and look at those. Look at whatever kind of pieces you have. Take, a couple hours, half a day, one day, to just go through and get on paper what it is that actually happened. Once you have it on paper, what actually happened, then you can process this later on. Or if you have a rainy day, you can come back into the field, into the office, and you can update your map. Go in and write that maybe those beets and turnips didn't work out, so replace them with radishes. Something flooded in the spring, you had to put cover crops there, and you moved the other cropping blocks into a cover crop block. Just record that stuff down. The notes aren't as important. It's really knowing what you planted and when. And an approximate date is way better than no date at all. And once you go through this, you're going to have a crop record that you'll be able to consult in the winter. And so if you're certified organic, it's going to make your organic certifier extra happy. And it's going to make your future farming self really happy when you're trying to figure out, should you grow more lettuce or less lettuce and all that kind of stuff. Now that's a reminder for you to go out and update your crop records while there are still crops in the field and you can still see what happened before you plowed it at the end of the year or maybe snow covers it. Now's the time to go and get those records. If you enjoy this farm spreadsheet tip, then subscribe to this channel and you'll get more farm spreadsheet goodness. Until then, Happy farming, happy planning.